KFI, AM 640 Slated with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. I would like to say happy Monday, but is there such a thing as happy Monday if you're just coming off the weekend and you're just getting back to work, like me? Can you say happy Monday? It's almost apocryphal. It's almost disrespectful. There's nothing happy about a Monday. Don't get me wrong. I'm pleased that I have, breath in my body. I have movement of my limbs. I'm in my right mind, unless you ask my wife. She thinks I'm out of my mind. But it's Monday, and I know it's a little bit more difficult than most days to be able to get it going. I know when you woke up this morning, it just seemed like, gosh, where did the weekend go? It went kind of quickly. It did. And we're now on the other side of the newness of summer. It's almost like, August is almost here. You start winding down. I don't know, 12, when do your kids, or at least your daughter goes back to school?
Middle of August.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So summer is winding down for many folks because we're saying goodbye to July before the end of the week. Where did all the time go?
But what's your problem with Monday?
Mondays, rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
What?
I'm not big on Mondays. I'm not big on Mondays. It's not that I live for the weekend, but I like the weekend. I like it a lot.
I like a good Monday.
But look, I enjoy my job. I love what I do, but I'd much rather be home playing with my dogs. And if you didn't see, Riley and Benson posted some pictures of them on my Instagram at Mr. Mokelly, MrMokelly. To the business at hand, we're going to tell you about the top 5 most expensive states in America. And something tells me, I have a sneaking suspicion that California might be among the top 5. I don't know this for certain. I just believe that it's a distinct possibility. And in unfortunate news, we have to tell you about this man who was shot and killed in Lawndale at a 7-Eleven store. And I saw this story, and it's about maybe 2 miles at best from where I live. And I pass this 7-Eleven all the time when I'm going to do TV at Spectrum News. It's on the way. I know exactly where it is. So it hits home in a lot of ways. When I tell you about the story, and we'll do that at the bottom of the hour, it's possibly wrong place, wrong time, wrong interaction with the wrong individual. And it highlights what oftentimes we talk about. Look, I'm the person who's always looking to de-escalate because you don't know who you're dealing with more times than not. And, something which started off with words, ended with gunfire, and a father of 4 lost his life unnecessarily, needlessly. We'll talk about that at the bottom of the hour. And before we close out the hour, we have to talk about Mayor Karen Bass. And she signed this accessibility commitment for 2028, the Olympics, where it will be, there'll be a level of accessibility for all the events for those who may be disabled or have some sort of limitation. And I think that's all well and good, but I think there's a larger discussion to have about Mayor Bass in this moment. And let me put it this way. It's nice, these, I would say, lesser important items. I'm not trying to be dismissive, but there's some big issues which need addressing. And until we get those things done, all these other things really don't matter. It's nice that the Olympics are coming, and they'll be here in 2028. It's nice that she has a vision for a car-free Olympics. It's nice that there is now a level of accessibility for those who are disabled. But what about the big-ticket items that you and I are concerned about on a day-to-day basis? What about those who are worried about crime, those who are worried about graffiti, those who are worried about just random acts of violence, like I am, and I think you are as well? We're going to talk about that before the hour's over. We're going to go beyond the box score with Jackie Ray. And you know how we talk about Deion Sanders, the coach of Colorado Buffaloes. He had disappeared, for lack of a better word, for a number of weeks. There were questions about his health. There were questions about his future as a coach. They didn't know if he had been diagnosed with a terminal illness. Well, we have all those answers. He had a press conference today, and it may surprise you what he has been going through. And also, Ice Cube is back in the news. His basketball league, the Big Three? Well, it is making some more news and making some more waves and some more a controversy as far as how they treated Caitlin Clark versus how they're treating Angel Reese or not treating Angel Reese. We'll get into that. And there is a new term for wives and significant others who are taking care of the emotional needs of their men, and it's called man keeping. And I don't think I appreciate this at all.
No.
I don't like this story at all, Twal. I don't know why you gave it to me.
Because I think that we as men need to speak out against this man keeping.
Yeah, look, we supposedly don't like to express ourselves and share our feelings. Well, I'm going to share my feelings and express myself tonight on this whole man keeping trend. It's so disrespectful. Stop laughing at this, Carnisha. It's disrespectful. It's not funny.
She thought you said manscaping.
That too. Then she got a bigger laugh. Okay, and on the ones and twos tonight, running the board, our technical director is Tony Sorrentino. Wanted to welcome him to the show. In for Stefan tonight. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, doing all right. Recovering.
Just want to let you know, if you hear anything that Mark thinks is funny, do not give him a rim shot. Okay?
I'll talk to you during the break, Tony.
Okay?
Don't worry about it.
Okay? If I should say anything which is remotely funny, you make sure you give me a rim shot because my name is on the show.
He needs the extra help, Tony. Go ahead and give it to him.
I'll wait.
Keep waiting, buddy.
Estamos esperando. Apúrate, Tony. Jeez Louise. Jesucristo. Ay, prisa. Apúrate. But also, we have your weird and wild horoscope for the week. And Twala picked it out. I have no idea how accurate it is going to be. And Tony, what is your sign?
January.
What's your birthday then?
Give me a second.
Capricorn?
Capricorn.
If you're born like in the first 2.5 weeks of January, that's Capricorn.
It's like towards the end, yeah.
Oh, then you might not be Capricorn.
No, it's mid-January, so yeah.
Okay, Capricorn.
Yeah, it's Capricorn. I don't know.
You're having a tough day with Monday, aren't you?
Like I said, I just got back from Comic-Con, man.
Oh, wait, you went to Comic-Con?
Yeah, I go every year.
Okay.
Every year.
Yeah, I've been going for like 25 years now.
So you have an extensive report for us at some point?
If you want one, it's not much. There was a lot of people there this year, and the panels weren't much. So
well, we
there
know
a lot
that
of people were on the
panels
floor.
weren't much because there are a lot of studios which were not participating.
Diamond didn't even show up.
Well, Diamond doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
There was
Were they going to do a panel on bankruptcy?
There was a big space in the floor where Diamond should have been.
I mean, if they're going to do a panel on bankruptcy and how to possibly get a hold of your back orders, maybe they could have done that because there's a lot of people angry at Diamond. Like, what happened to my collectibles?
Yep. For people who don't know what that means, Diamond was the main distributor for the entire comics industry, and they went bankrupt recently.
Yes.
So what does that tell you about the future of the industry as a whole?
Well, it's always been shaky, for God's sake.
It ain't shaky anymore.
Now
It's shook.
What's beyond shaky? I mean,
shooketh.
I think my former publisher, Dynamite, is trying to get what they're owed because Dynamite, I think, had to not give people their paychecks recently.
Ooh, not the ooh.
Well, we'll definitely hit that in the third hour. We have your box office returns. We all saw Fantastic Four First Steps, except for Tony. He was too busy at Comic-Con. He didn't have a chance. But I know that I saw it. I know that Tawala saw it. I know Mark, he gave his review of it on Friday as part of the Rana Report. And we'll give you our thoughts with respect to the box office totals. Marvel has a hit on its hands. And we often talk about how expensive it is here in the state of California. And you may wonder, where does that stack up nationally? Found this list on CNBC and determined which states are the most expensive in 2025. CNBC relied on prices indexed by the Council for Community and Economic Research, as well as data that captured housing affordability and the rising costs of insurance. And I think that's important, if only because we have talked about the disasters across the country, but most notably here in California with the fires, and how insurance played a role in that, in extending, I would say, the tragedy, and how we talk about hurricanes and people may have hurricane insurance but not flood insurance, and how that impacts people and how they may get their lives and houses back in order. So let's look at this. The 5 most expensive states in the nation according to CNBC. And I think everyone in the studio has a reference point for these states. Coming in at number 5. Oregon, or as some people say, Oregon. The Beaver State landed high on the list thanks in large part to the cost of housing. The amount of money going into mortgages and rent takes up over 30% of household income for a third of residents. On top of that, that a loaf of bread costs 12% more in Portland, Oregon than in Portland, Maine. 2025 Cost of Living Index by the Missouri Economic Research and Information Center found that Oregonians paid more for groceries than residents of all but 6 states and Puerto Rico. Coming in number 4. Most expensive states in America. Colorado, interestingly enough. Like so many Western states, the cost of home insurance is skyrocketing and getting increasingly hard to obtain. In some cases, amid devastating wildfires and other natural disasters, what we were just talking about. And so Colorado, it may seem like an idyllic place to live, but it's also a very expensive place to live. Coming in at number 3 of the most expensive states in the United States. There may be no state income tax, but it's still hella expensive in Florida. Long seen as an ideal destination for retirees with fixed incomes. Some may be surprised to find the Sunshine State so high on this list. Similar to Colorado, the increasing frequency and devastation from hurricanes, like I talked about, has led to what has been called the worst homeowners insurance crisis in the country. And unfortunately for Floridians, whopping insurance rates along with policy cancellations combined with some of the least affordable properties in the country. Coming in number 2 of the most expensive states in the United States. Hawaii. Interesting. I'm thinking like it's California, New York or something.
All the way to Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, the upside is you can wake up to a paradisiacal view of stunning beaches, but it's offset by shocking costs at the grocery store, optometrists, and elsewhere. And that makes sense because everything is being shipped in. You have limited availability of stuff specific to Hawaii. And despite the high cost of goods, CNBC notes that Hawaii has not yet been battered with the insurance crisis that we were talking about with the other states as of yet.
That's going to ruin the view after a while, that price tag.
Look, I've never been to Hawaii. It's one of the few states that I've never visited. Tony, have you been to Hawaii?
Yeah, I went last year in April.
How was it?
It's just so good. I would leave everything for there.
Okay, so it is as billed.
Oh, yeah.
Which island or islands?
We ended up, it was the whole family, kind of like big family. We went Oahu, and we went like on the North Shore area, so kind of just away from the city, just beach, and it just trees and green everywhere. And it rained and wind every day because the trade wind was coming right in that North Shore. I didn't care. I suffered through the rain. It was okay.
You got away from the touristy areas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Waikiki is essentially San Diego.
Okay. I'll remember that. Mark, have you been to Hawaii?
No, my grandmother told me that she'd send me there for my honeymoon, but then I did a quick cost-benefit analysis and decided that would involve getting married. So there was no Hawaii.
You know the long-suffering one is listening right now.
She never listens. She doesn't care.
Okay.
She doesn't read my books. She doesn't listen to this station. I think I'm safe. I could say anything.
I hope you're right.
Let's do a little experiment here.
We're going to find out real quick if she's listening. Twala, have you been to Hawaii?
No, my kids have been a bunch of times.
Speaking of kids, your daughter has just gone around the world.
She did.
Where did she go? I mean, she went through most of Europe.
She, her mother took her on a trip this summer. Don't ask me how she managed that because it's a mystery to me.
As long as it didn't come out of your pocket.
No. I told her, don't look at me. They went to London. They went to Paris. They went to Amsterdam. They went to Rome. Of course, somewhere else in Italy, somewhere else far off.
Mm-hmm.
And one other place, Florence. Yeah, they were just all over. They were just like, and here's the thing, it was Billie Eilish.
I was going to say there's a concert connection.
Yeah, Billie Eilish was in London, and then straight to Paris for Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Damn.
And Disneyland Paris.
Damn.
And then, of course, they did all the sites. They went to the Louvre. They went to the Eiffel Tower. They went to the place where the Pope is buried in
I don't know where he's buried, but by the Vatican.
By the Vatican. He didn't want to be buried in the Vatican. They went to the famous Saint whatever church. They went everywhere, man.
St. Peter's?
St. Peter's, yeah.
Okay.
St. Peter's.
I've been to St. Peter's.
The Colosseum, they said it was blazing hot, like ungodly.
Yeah.
They did the canals in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like straight up like Robin Leach with your stuff or something.
No, man, look.
Lifestyles that are rich and famous.
No, it is amazing how my ex-wife is able to make things happen and make a way where there's no way. She was like, we're going to do this, and figured it out. Like, literally, they got to Paris, and she reached out to a friend, one of the owners of Live Nation.
Uh-huh.
Their kid goes to her school, and she was like, hey, so I'm out here in Paris. I see there's a Kendrick SZA show. 5 minutes later, someone touches her on the shoulder, said, Miss Sharp, right this way. Just escorted her right in, like backstage passes. Like, literally, they are front row at the Kendrick SZA show.
Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, London, Paris, Italy, Naples, Rome.
They did it all.
Amsterdam.
2 weeks abroad, living the life. Croissants, the way they're meant to be made. That's why they told me it was croissants. So I was like,
oh, now they're going to correct you.
Yeah.
I was in Paris for all of 5 minutes, and I know how to pronounce croissant.
And they were like one of the most amazing. They said their McDonald's, they have like a shrimp burger in Italy. That is like their menu is like avant-garde. They have like,
Yeah, they have like what was it from Pulp Fiction? Royale?
Yeah. Like, but they have this one fry you can get, I think it's truffle butter on your fries at McDonald's. It's
yes,
like,
you can.
wow. It's like, I'm like, what?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And here we are talking about the 5 most expensive states, and your daughter and your ex-wife going all around the world.
All around the world.
That alimony's kicking your ass, ain't it? I'm just talking mess. And here is the most expensive state in all the United States, according to CNBC, after that. I would have thought it would be New York, but it's actually California.
We beat New York?
We beat New York, and New York didn't even end up in the top 5. I'm thinking like, wow. And I know it's the state. When we think of New York and cost of living, we sometimes think about New York City as opposed to like Buffalo or Albany or Rochester, Syracuse.
Yeah.
From a state, maybe that balances it out. But I still think of New York as an expensive state to live.
I couldn't imagine Rochester being cheap.
I don't think of
because a lot of people are moving out to be in those areas.
Yeah, but still, it did not make it in the top 5. But again, this is according generally to real estate and insurance rates. So take it for what it's worth. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We have an unfortunate 7-Eleven update when we come back, and I'm not going to tell you I told you so, but just know it's on my mind throughout the whole story, the whole time. Okay, the whole time. I told you so. Just to reset. I made it very clear. I don't go to 7-Eleven. I don't go in the daytime. I don't go at nighttime. I don't go at any time. Tuala Sharp, he likes to go there for the coffee. I warn him not to ever go to 7-Eleven. Now, if you want to go to AM/PM, fine. Circle K, fine. Mom and Pop's, Mini Mart, fine. Valero, Dino Mart, fine. Stay your ass out of 7-Eleven.
I went just this week, too, man. That's why the story really hurts.
And because I say that, and part of the reason I say that is because I think 7-Eleven is inherently dangerous. It, not only from the clientele, it's about how it's set up, and it's more conducive to it being robbed. There, unfortunately, was a man who went to a 7-Eleven not far from where I live. And as the story is told, I'm going to play it for you in just a second. As the story is told, he got into first a verbal altercation with some other man who came in later. They seemingly did not know each other, so there's no reason to believe that there's a personal connection. Then the verbal altercation turned into a physical altercation, and then the second man who walked into the 7-Eleven pulled a gun and then shot this gentleman, and he died on the scene. And here's basically how it went down.
Well, a trip to 7-Eleven turned deadly in Lawndale. A man was shot and killed inside the store on his way home from work. KCAL News reporter Amanda Starantino spoke to the victim's wife this morning.
Oh, and it's only like 8 p.m. So we're talking about right around now that this would have happened. We're not saying like 11, 12, 1 in the morning. We're not saying like, oh my goodness, what are you doing there at 7-Eleven? No, this is just like after work, going home. The sun probably is still out to a certain degree. It's probably dusk. So it's not like you should expect anything bad should happen.
This scene now clear the coroner, removing the body just a few hours ago. But detectives are still in the search for a suspect who they say shot and killed a man inside the 7-Eleven overnight and then fled the scene. Now, the wife of the victim spoke with me this morning. She identified him as 34-year-old George Victoriano, a father of 4, living just a few blocks away. She's
34, father of 4, living just a few blocks away.
George Victoriano, a father of 4, living just a few blocks away. She says he stopped by the 7-Eleven last night on his way home to pick up some beers. She shared with us these pictures of their family, and she said she was expecting him home last night, but he never walked through the door. Kaylee Victoriano says they've been married since 2015. Together, they have 4 children, ages 2 through 11. She tells me George was a plumber just wrapping up a job Sunday night, and that this store is only blocks from their home. His family, including his parents and brothers, spent the night here at the scene, refusing to leave, while his body remained inside the store.
He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was living his life as he should. He was gainfully employed, plumber, honorable profession, taking care of his family, married with 4 kids, and this happens.
I'll show you what the scene looked like overnight. Sheriff's deputies responded just after 8 p.m. to reports of a shooting inside the convenience store. They found a man suffering from at least 1 gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and investigators say the victim and the suspect got into a verbal argument that escalated into a fight. And that's when the suspect pulled out a gun and opened fire.
And you have to know, when that second guy walked in, he obviously knew he had a gun. He was obviously looking for some sort of confrontation. And that's unfortunately when I talked to my sons, and Twala, you and I talked about this, about some very specific items.
Yep.
You know, you don't know what another person has on their mind. They may have come with the full intention of escalation, or might have a gun, might be drunk, might be high, might be both. And you just might be mad. And that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
The gunman, described only as a Hispanic male, then ran out, got into a car, and took off. The victim managed to run toward the back of the store but collapsed and died inside. This happened near Prairie Avenue and Manhattan Beach Boulevard, just behind Will Rogers Middle School and across from the Alondra Park baseball fields, a heavily residential area and a busy intersection.
But we can assume there is video. Every 7-Eleven has cameras everywhere. They know what this guy looks like. I think it's fair to assume they have his license plate.
Detectives have not officially released the victim's identity, but they say they are still on the search for the suspect that they say is on the run, and no arrests have been made just yet. Also,
well, if they know he's on the run, that means they know who it is. And they've already gone to his residence.
Investigators tell us that this was not a robbery, and they do not believe it to be gang-related. We know no employees were hurt during this altercation last night, but a family this morning torn apart.
That's my greatest fear. You're minding your business. You're probably living your life in a way that you should. And then you happen upon this one idiot. Just one. Just this one idiot who obviously had a gun on him and went into the store with intentions, and probably had no problem with escalating a verbal altercation because he knew he was strapped.
And it to me, walking into the 7-Eleven with a gun on him, that to me speaks to intent, that there was potentially intent to possibly rob this store. I know the police are saying that there was no robbery attempt, but that's just because he got into it with this man and decided, well, you know what, instead I'm going to take this guy's life. I'm not even going to move forward with what I was going to come in here for. I mean, it is a truly, truly heartbreaking thing. I mean, it does give me pause. It makes me think to myself, like, I could be in the stuff. Like, I went the other day, I got coffee. I could be in there minding my own business. And unfortunately, if someone was to have come in there and just started something with me, I do worry about, will I have that wherewithal to say, just walk away, leave it alone, or is my temper going to get the best of me?
I try never to be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
I try, but then someone may say the wrong thing and you may say something in response, not trying to take it there, but, you know, someone jaw-jacks you, you may jaw-jack them back, and then all of a sudden you've lost control of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
That's always my concern. And you may have been planning to go home. That person was planning to shoot someone.
Right.
And that's why I always talk about safety in the sense of before you are in a situation, game plan it out. For the person you haven't met, the situation that you are not in, that you cannot see. I think about going into a place, and if someone were to say something to me that I didn't like, trying not to respond, trying not to escalate. You know what? Yeah, I'm all those things. Have a nice day. So I can go on with the rest of my day and hopefully my life. And if it's escalated to something where I don't have a choice, then we're going to have to do what we have to do because I want to at least protect myself. But I'm hopefully going to be calm enough to not be a party to the escalation. Hopefully, because I'm trying to get home to someone, for someone, and it has nothing to do with me. And that person should not be the final chapter to my story. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on social media and the iHeartRadio app. And we're going to get into what Mayor Bass has been up to. She signed an accessibility commitment for 2028. The Olympics are on the way. And I'll give you my thoughts on that and also the larger picture as it represents Mayor Bass. Now, bye. Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media and the iHeartRadio app. Come join us on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. Join the Momigos. That's the friends of the show. In the Motown chat, where they're discussing anything and everything about the show and anything else which is going on in the world. Mayor Karen Bass, someone who is not extremely popular right now in the city of Los Angeles. I think that's fair to say. She had an event on Friday, and as part of the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, Mayor Bass and other civic leaders wanted to reaffirm their commitment to making sure that the 2028 Olympics would be accessible to all individuals, regardless of level of ability or disability.
Earlier today at Exposition Park, Mayor Bass signed a Games host city accessibility commitment, a pledge to make sure the 2028 Olympic Games are inclusive for everyone, especially people with disabilities.
When you interact in the Paralympic Village and you see the challenges that people go through, not just to survive, but to excel and to thrive and to move into excellence in terms of being an athlete. So we will be ready. We will be ready for the Olympics, and we will be very ready for the Paralympics.
Also taking part in the event, Team USA paraswimmer Jack O'Neill, pushing for an Olympics that leaves behind a legacy of access.
I think it's incredible because, spectators are the heart of why athletes like us want to compete. And so making sure that people in wheelchairs and people with visual impairments or hearing impairments are able to witness these kind of things and not only just witness the games, but also enjoy the great city of Los Angeles far after the games are over is just of the utmost importance. And I'm glad that our organizing committee and leaders are on the same page as people with disabilities.
The commitment promises to plan and deliver access and inclusion for LA 28, as well as collaborate with partnering agencies to ensure a seamless, accessible experience for everyone.
I'm not pushing it aside. I think that is very important. I think that is good that we have that level of commitment for those who may have a level of disability. And I want the Olympics to be available to everyone. But I think it's also dishonest if we don't have a genuine conversation about Los Angeles, about where we are as a city. And that is always connected to any presentation of the Olympics. In fact, I got an invite from the mayor's office to go to the event. I had other things to do on Friday, so I was not there. But if I would have had the opportunity to speak with Mayor Bass one-on-one, I would have broached this with her, and there's nothing I would say on this show that I would not say to a political figure directly to him or her. I try to be transparent and consistent. But I would go to Mayor Bass and say, hey, we can argue about the relief and how the fires were handled, but we cannot argue about the state of the city. We cannot deny when we walk out and see the graffiti every frickin' where. We cannot deny the homeless, even though you'll tell us that there's an improvement as far as the number of homeless people on the streets. I can't argue that, but I can say with the eyeball test, it's not discernibly different. It's not, if there are 2,000 fewer homeless, wonderful. As far as I know, same number of homeless people in my neighborhood. We still are dealing with these street takeovers, not all in the city of LA, some of it is the county of Los Angeles. And I understand that's not the mayor's jurisdiction, but all of these things are connected. And it's not just the street takeovers. We have the street takeovers plus the looting of the auto zones. This is something which a mayor may not be able to directly control, but it is still the responsibility of the mayor to address. It's the mayor to keep it front of mind, to make sure that she or he, in the case of other cities, is doing everything that they can to alleviate some of these problems or improve the quality of life for all people in Los Angeles. And as I am someone who lives in the city of Los Angeles, I am intimately connected to the health and welfare of the city. And it's fair to be able to say it's not where it needs to be. Now, here's the other side of that conversation. And there are those who say, well, she needs to resign, or we need different leadership. And then I have to remind people, most people who are asking her to resign, number one, do not live in the city of Los Angeles. Y'all talk a lot of mess from Orange County. Y'all talk a lot of mess from Ventura County. You're not even in the city of Los Angeles, but you want to tell Angelenos who to vote for. And speaking of who to vote for, there's no one else running. And I keep reminding people of that. There is no Republican alternative. They say, well, she should resign. And the people who tell me that she should resign don't even know what the process is afterwards. Do you know who takes over? It's the vice mayor. No. It's the deputy mayor. No. It's the president of the city council. Or the president of the LA City Council can appoint someone until the time of a special election, which is not going to happen because the mayoral election is happening next June, fewer than 10 months from now. And the only person in the race that anyone knows the name of is, say it with me, Karen Bass. So the idea that either she's going to resign, why would she? Because there's no one stopping her from being reelected as of right now. Well, what about Rick Caruso? His ass is not in the race. And also, I don't have any information to confirm this. I just have a sneaking suspicion, reading the tea leaves. I think he might be gearing up for a run for governor. I think he's looking more at the governor's mansion than he is, just mayor of Los Angeles. I think he set his sights much higher. And we'll see how that plays out and how that pans out. But yes, there are some real issues with the city of Los Angeles. Yes, Mayor Bass is the captain of the ship, and she is responsible for whatever happens on her ship or during her administration. But no, for all the people who are maddest, who are most angry, there is no viable alternative. There's no one running against her. And no, she's not going to resign. So you need to stop putting that on all your social media posts. Today's a good day for you to resign. And then what? And then what? She's not going to resign, and then what? Resign so the president of LA City Council can pick someone else you don't like? Someone else you don't think will be able to do the job? What you should be posting is, hey, let's find a candidate. Hashtag find a candidate to run in June of 2026. Because all this talk about resign, or I forgot even the recall effort, remember that? That fell by the wayside. I don't think they're even doing that anymore. I don't think they're even trying to collect signatures anymore. That went nowhere. So what does it tell you? it's incumbent upon the individuals who care most about the change to do something. I'm just a radio host. All I can do is complain on air and tell you what is missing in the dialogue. I can tell you what needs to be done in the city. I can reiterate things that you've told me and say, Mo, you need to say this on the air. I'm saying it on the air. There's too much graffiti. There's too much crime. There's too much. LA's going to hell in the handbasket. Okay? It's said every single day. But what is the solution? We need new leadership. Okay, then who's running? She needs to resign. Well, then who's going to take her place? And nobody ever has a reasonable answer. Not one person, because you haven't actually looked into the issue. For as much as you may not like Mayor Bass, you don't even know how to change it. You haven't even offered up a different candidate to vote for. You want her to resign and don't even know the process of what happens afterward. I just want her out. Okay. So what happens if the president of the LA City Council decides to choose Karen Bass? Because that is in the purview of the president of the LA City Council. You can keep spinning your wheels. You can keep sending me hate mail, but you know I'm right. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're going to go beyond the box score at the top of the hour. KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. And joining us in studio customarily, as she does on Mondays, is Jackie Ray. Jackie Ray, it's great to see you.
It's great to be here.
Let me just say this. I have long been a Deion Sanders fan.
Same.
I've appreciated, despite I may not always appreciate the antics and the bravado, I still appreciate him for what he's done at Jackson State, turning around Colorado. You can't argue with the results. But he disappeared for the better part of a month.
Right.
People were concerned about his health because he did have 2 toes amputated, his last round of blood clots. I thought, because they had this press conference today, that he was going to announce that he was going to step down.
As did I.
As it turns out, he announced that he had his gallbladder removed due to bladder cancer. And this is very quick. I'll play some of it. This is what his medical team had to say.
But at this point, you have a bladder tumor. And from there, we'll go get it removed. And then, Dr. Kirkasia, it was... Go ahead.
Yeah, so we proceeded with removal of the bladder tumor. It showed a very aggressive, very high grade, invading through the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer, something we call very high risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. So we did discuss options. We discussed some options of treatment in the bladder, and we discussed bladder removal as well. Given his commitments to his family and to the team, elected to undergo a bladder removal. We performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
Deion Sanders, and I can't play it. It was like a 40-minute press conference, which was not taken live on ESPN or Fox Sports, which was weird to me, but that's an aside. Deion was saying like he has to wear Depends underwear for like the rest of his life because he has no bladder control. He cannot control urination. I don't know what his quality of life is going to be, but my question to you is, should he have stepped down given that his health, even though he may be past the operation, he's still going through recovery?
I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because I always, this is a question that hopefully won't come for most of us, but it probably will come for a lot of us when you get to that age where you have to make a choice of, do you want to stop working or do you want to keep doing what you love? And I think the second you stop living is when things go awry for you. And this is his passion. This is something that he's obviously very good at. He definitely influences young men to go out into the world, be it football or just life in general, to be better people. So I think he's very much needed, and it's a passion for him, and it gives him life. And so I don't think you should ever stop doing anything that you're passionate about. My dad used to always say the second you start living is when you start dying. And so I think he needs to keep doing what he loves. I have to appreciate, because he's been very public about his faith, and I appreciated that about him. But I think he also sent the message that, hey, don't cry for me. I'm a very blessed person. In fact, listen to what he has to say and how he puts it, and I think in a wonderful perspective. I'll have to actually pull up the clip. All right, here we go.
I never once through this whole journey said, God, why me? Because I would have to say, God, why you Why didn't you sit me up here in front of these wonderful people? Why you give me the position of the head football coach of the prestigious university? Why you allow me to father 5 wonderful kids? Why you give me these relationships with these wonderful people? Why me, Lord? Did I have some of the things that I have? I can never say that. I can never say the other side because I'm going to have to ask that. I said, Lord, whatever it is that you're doing, let me know what it is so I could expedite the process.
He's been through 14 surgeries in 4 years. I don't know how emotionally I would respond to that, assuming everything went right with all the surgeries.
Tired.
14 surgeries in 4 years, and we know that he lost two toes to amputation. And I don't know, because he's been closely guarding his health, I don't know what other issues that he's been dealing with.
Yeah, he's 57, and so that's 14 surgeries in.
I'm 55. Okay,
that's a lot.
We're in the same space, basically.
Right? You're talking, when you talk about these types of surgeries, you're literally, in my mind, this is something that starts happening later in life, and then you have to start thinking about these things. But that mindset is very much, you have to take the good with the bad, and he has had a very blessed life, and so I applaud him for that. I don't know that most of us would be able to do that, though. I don't know if most of us would be able to sit down and say, I've had a great life, because I think that once you say that, we all have to deal with our mortality sooner or later. We just do. The second you lose somebody that's close to you, you have to start dealing with your own mortality. But for him, he's dealing with it in a different way. He's dealing with it in, my body is showing me that it is not up to par. And so that for him to be sitting there and looking so good.
Who was a world-class athlete across 2 professional sports.
So for him to be sitting there and have such decorum and such positivity and talk about the good people that he wants to continue to bless in his life, he's different. We've always known Deion is different, but this proves that he's different. And his faith is what's keeping him grounded right now.
Now, I made mention to it, but you and I both work in media. You and I have both worked in sports media. I was very taken aback when I realized that neither ESPN nor Fox Sports took the press conference live, nor had a reporter reporting on it as it was happening. They just made a mention of it later. Am I making too much of that?
No, we should all be making a lot of that. Is, when you have someone like Deion, you've covered every aspect of his career. You've covered everything from him waking up to him laying down. He's had a whole reality show. So you've covered every aspect of his life. And now when he's at a moment that is pivotal for him he's clearly getting the support. So I'm not saying he needs it, but as a sports organization, and it is your job to report on everything that is sports related, and you're not reporting on one of the biggest names in sports, telling you one of the biggest things that happened in his life, to me, that's an agenda. And I don't know what the agenda
pissed somebody
is.
Off.
He did. But you know what? People piss me off every day. If they have a story, I still do it because I'm ethical and I'm a journalist.
Yeah, that bothered me, because that was, to me, a conscious decision, an editorial decision. You don't miss that. That was that was a news moment that you still cover. Do you cover it for the whole 40 minutes? Maybe not. Maybe you do 10 minutes, you drop out of it, and you recap it like we do here on KFI for a lot of press conferences.
They should have at least had a cameraman there, record the whole thing, edit it up, and make it a 3-minute package.
Or you have it split screen. It's like we're monitoring the Deion Sanders press conference. We'll let you know. He just announced that he's survived bladder cancer surgery. He's going to remain on as the head coach.
Because this is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Surviving any type of cancer is a big deal. Surviving cancer and not resigning your position is a bigger deal.
Well, let's not forget ESPN with the whole, Jimmy V cancer, foundation,
right?
And the whole thing that they do every single year, it just rings real hypocritical.
Yep, and the optics, that would be always my concern, regardless of what the real reason for you not covering it. What do the optics say? I'm just saying, ESPN, do better.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. When we come back, we're going to talk about some WNBA. We have Ice Cube, who's been a guest on the show, so I have nothing against him. He obviously is the founder of the Big Three and is a rival to the NBA. The NBA does not want the Big Three to succeed at all. You may remember about a year ago, he made an offer, don't know if it was real or not, for Caitlin Clark to come play at the Big Three for $5 million. Now, of course, Caitlin Clark make more than $5 million in endorsements. But the question is now, was the same offer extended to Angel Reese, who is perceived to be her adversary, her yin to her yang? We'll get into that next. Join us later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app. And we're still going beyond the box score with Jackie Ray, who joins me in studio. You can take a look at both of us on our YouTube simulcast as Jackie Ray waves to the crowd. Jackie, you and I love talking basketball, WNBA, and the intersection between NBA and WNBA issues. The big three is, I don't want to say it's competition, but it is opposition to the NBA. Right. The NBA has been trying to kill the big three, the 3-on-3 league that Ice Cube founded for years now. Mm-hmm. But the WNBA has come into focus because Ice Cube has been trying to recruit the likes of Caitlin Clark, who I don't think it was an honest attempt, but he offered her $5 million last year to play against men, with men, in the big three. And Caitlin Clark obviously was going to make more money in the WNBA and also being allowed to get the endorsements through WNBA sponsors. Right. She makes more than $5 million easy. But there was a story which came out this week in which Ice Cube, I guess he was asked about Angel Reese, whether she would get a similar offer from him and the big three. And he said, basically, no, Caitlin is a bigger star, could bring in more eyeballs. I'm paraphrasing. What did he get right or what did he get wrong about that?
Let me tread lightly. I think in essence, he got it right. I think Caitlin Clark would be a bigger draw. In essence, because we've seen that she brings a very specific fan base, and just statistically in the country, that's just demographically it's just a larger demographic. I think where he got it wrong is to say that Angel Reese wouldn't give an immediate spike to that league, because that's very wrong. I mean, Angel Reese she's like the Beyonce of basketball right now. People follow her because of what she's selling it on Amazon. You know what she's a beauty icon. I think she might be up to maybe 10 million in endorsements at this point. Easy. She comes across my feed every day about, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'll be right in her little Amazon shop to see if there's anything in there that might work for me. She is a moneymaker for the WNBA and beyond. Yes. And I think for Ice Cube to say that, now here's where people will be like, now we've seen a lot of Caitlin Clark. Now her first year in, obviously it was about the threes and all of that good stuff. But what I think we're seeing right now is more of who Caitlin Clark actually is in this, even with the injuries and her flopping and things of that nature. I don't think that we're talking about one player being better than the other. Yeah, can I say it this way? I think I wouldn't call it the sophomore jinx, but the league has adjusted to Caitlin Clark and her game, and making her be more than just a shooter. When they make her a distributor, she's turnover prone. Yeah. And she's always been like that, though. And she's a volume shooter. In other words, she needs to shoot a lot of shots to get her points. And if you could make it more difficult for her to be successful as a shooter, that really limits her game. Yeah, she doesn't spark fear anybody, because if she gets hot, you can make her go cold. And so I think, to your point, they have learned who she is as a player. With Angel Reese, she has learned how to, if her shot doesn't go down, she has still learned how to be effective. I tell people this all the time. Everybody in the game has a bad night. What you need to know how to do is still be productive while you have a bad shooting night. And she's learned how to do that. She's learned how to distribute the ball. She's learned how to take care of the ball. Her assists are up. Her scoring's up. Everything on her numbers is up. So when you try to say, Caitlin Clark is better, then you're tapping into the hype. And I'm going to just go out and say it. The hype, a lot of the hype that comes with Caitlin Clark is very negative, race baiting hype. I read the blogs. I read all the things that they say about Angel Reese don't have anything to do with basketball. Nope. Let's just be clear and let's be honest about that. But I will say this, that is going to generate millions and millions of dollars for the WNBA. We talked about this. This is their CBA year, the collective bargaining agreement. They're in negotiations now. These players are going to get paid. Not to the level of NBA players, because they're still not bringing in that type of revenue. But this rising tide is going to lift all boats, and they're going to double, if not triple, their salaries. As they should, because when you're talking about the endorsement deals that they're getting, the TV sponsors that they're getting, the TV deals that they're getting, and this is what I tell people all the time. They're like, they're asking for money, and the league's never been in the black. You guys are talking about money from your bank account.
Yeah.
Rich people broke and regular people broke is not the same broke. And so this is not a league that is in any danger of going bankrupt tomorrow.
But they don't understand the business. When you sell the broadcast rights, you're talking about 10 years out. And then the networks have to then sell them for the commercials and recoup their money. There is a trajectory to all this.
Yes.
They are growing by leaps and bounds, where this league is going to be making far more money in 2-3 years than it is right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about
ABC, ESPN.
Yep. The New York Liberty are right now valued at $450 million. The Golden State Valkyries, which this is their first season in the league, are already valued at $500 million. So obviously the money is there. The fans are there. As a reporter who's been covering the LA Sparks, it is so fun to see, because the LA Sparks just started winning. They just went on a 5
When Magic and Bird came into the NBA was averaging less attendance than the WNBA is right now.
I tell people that all the time. When Michael Jordan came into Chicago, there was a soccer team that was getting more butts in the seats than the Chicago Bulls. So it is what it is.
The NBA was like getting 5,000 and 6,000 people. You know, it's not. I'm not talking about LA and New York. I'm talking about the smaller markets. Right. You know, he had Milwaukee. No one was going to see the Milwaukee Bucks.
And now they're the hottest ticket in town.
Right. So there is a historical parallel here. It's not going to happen overnight, but they are definitely, they as in WNBA players, they're about to get paid. And for those who are angry about the shirts of the All-Star game, talking about pay us,
they just don't understand the numbers.
They don't get it.
People don't read. I want to say one more thing about Ice Cube, though.
Sure.
The other thing that bothers me about this, Ice Cube has long been this man that has exalted himself as a pro-black man who is about black people and is about his community. So why he took this moment to say anything disparaging about a black woman bothers me.
Here's what bothers me about what Cube did. He based it around statements that Angel Reese made a year ago.
Right. But out of context, though, because she didn't say that she couldn't pay her bills. She said based on her WNBA salary alone, which she said if that was all I had to live on, I couldn't pay my bills. But that's not all the money she's getting.
But she's also speaking on behalf of the players who don't have the endorsement income, who don't have the ability to supplement their income. And that goes back to Brittany Griner, why people were playing overseas to supplement their income, and because the WNBA was not paying them enough.
So what's the lesson here? Read before you speak.
It's later with Mo Kelly. When we come back, Jackie Ray, I don't want you to leave yet, because there is this new trend and term going around talking about man keeping, where some women are upset because they are seen as having to take care of men in a therapeutic sense. And they're...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
I'm rather offended. But we'll get into it. KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app, everywhere, on the iHeartRadio app. And this next story, Tuala gave it to me, and I was reading this. It just made me madder. The more I read it, the further I got into it, the more angry I became. Because I'm thinking, like, this can't be real, but it is real. There is a new, I'll say, psychotherapy term, which is making its way around social media, and it's called man keeping. Man keeping. It just sounds just real disrespectful, because it is. It describes the work women do to meet the social and emotional needs of men in their lives, from supporting their partners through daily challenges and inner turmoil to encouraging them to meet up with their friends. It just makes us like, are we just helpless or something? Are you like, is that another word for new mother? You're saying men can't function without women? Is that what this article is trying to say?
I mean, there's not a women loneliness epidemic.
In a 2021 survey, 15% of men said they didn't have any close friends, up from 3% in 1990. Who the hell did they ask? The same report showed that in 1990, nearly half of young men say they would reach out to friends when facing a personal issue. 2 decades later, just over 20 to 2/3% said the same. When, according to somebody, women tended to have all of these nodes of support they were going to for problems, whereas men were more likely to just be going to them. You know, this is what I think, and this is going to sound very sexist. I think men play the role of opening up for the benefit of getting with a woman. They're fake opening up. They're not actually opening up. Because why is it a man is just going to tell all of his deep-seated issues and problems? No, we don't do that. We're not built that way. Look at Mark Ronner. You think he talks to the long-suffering one and tells all his deep, dark secrets? Look at Tony Sorrentino. He doesn't talk to women. Not like that, at least.
Oh, God.
Tony, am I wrong? It's radio. You have to actually turn on your mic.
I know. No, I just keep to myself.
Thank you. Mark, am I wrong?
I don't really want to be dragged into your filth here. You just proceed without me. Dig your own grave.
All I'm saying is men were not built that way. Now, can we open up under the right circumstances? Yes, but we're not emotionally dependent on women now more so than 25 years ago. That's BS. It's BS. And they want to ascribe a term to it. They want to emasculate us and say, man keeping. Men have to be kept. They're emotionally fragile. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know where to turn.
Look, I'm looking at Carnisha like, girl.
This is not real. What is this? It's from the New York Times. Okay, it's fake news. Male social disconnection. This is from the article. Male social disconnection is a larger problem. Rather than viewing man-keeping as an internet-approved bit of therapy speak used to dump on straight men, experts said, whoever they are, experts said they see it as a term that can help sound the alarm about the need for men to invest emotionally in friendships. You have got to be kidding.
Because if you're not talking to your girl, and you're not talking to your guys, your boys, then who are you talking to?
Okay, we talk to ourselves.
That's the problem.
I talk to myself
That is the problem.
all the time. I'm in the shower, and I'll say, I can't believe this motherfucker did what? If I see so-and-so at the job, we're going to have a misunderstanding. And I feel better. Why? Because I'm not being interrupted like my wife always does. I get to finish my thoughts. I get to have a whole full-on conversation. And I'm respected, and my thoughts are respected. Not everything needs to be shared with everyone. Okay? Look.
That sounds like pent-up energy when you don't let that out. And I think that is the problem.
The best part of life is wisdom and knowing when to say certain things and knowing to whom you should and should not say certain things. Not everything needs to be said. Everything I think about Tuala, I'm not sharing with Tuala, okay? Mm-hmm. That's my man, 50 grand. But I don't need to say everything.
I feel that some people in the chat could profit from that thought process.
Yeah, I don't. Eric Lasardo in the chat says, Mo doth protest too much. What am I protesting? No, I have no problem. If you as a man feel more comfortable bearing your soul to whatever woman is in your life, then God bless you. I take issue with the idea that men are somehow suffering more in 2025, or we're more emotionally immature and underdeveloped, or we can't handle our emotions. We're emotionally infantile, and we don't know how to handle emotions in the 21st century.
Yeah, but can we agree that most men listen to me. Most men have a lower emotional IQ than women. Can we not agree about that?
You say that our EQ is lower.
Your IQ, your emotional IQ.
That's called
lower.
EQ.
Okay, it's lower. Yeah, exponentially.
No, we're not going to. No. No.
But that's just proving my point.
No, we're not going to agree. You said, can we agree? No, we can't agree.
You can't agree. You just said that you would rather have a conversation with yourself in the shower, and you don't think that your emotional IQ might be lower than your wife's?
No. Absolutely not, because my wife is far less delicate than I am as far as nuance and understanding someone else's feelings.
That sounds made up.
It's accurate though.
Oh my God.
You know, it is part of our nature to be nurturing
Yes,
and to care. That is exactly how we were
It's
designed.
part of your nature to nag too.
Not necessarily.
It's part of your nature to not leave us alone. It's part of your nature to not know when to stop talking. If I could just get women to understand, sometimes just stop talking. Just stop. Carnation, don't say it. Just stop talking. For example, there are days, and this is for women. There are days when your man comes home. He doesn't want to hear anything about anything. Don't ask him, so tell me about your day. So how are you? No. Just because he walks in the door, that is not an opportunity to start a conversation. Sometimes a man just wants to be able to come in, sit down, maybe have a beverage, and be alone in his thoughts, and then he'll reemerge from his emotional cave a little bit later on. But you guys talk about emotional intelligence and IQ. You don't necessarily recognize when there's a time to stop talking.
Well,
But go ahead, girl. Listen, go ahead.
That's communication. Hey, babe, I know you're excited to talk to me, but just give me a couple of minutes to debrief. I had a hard day at work, and then we could talk in like 20 minutes.
And I've done that, and I get a lot of flack for that.
Oh.
Get called insensitive, or it's like you don't know how to communicate. No, I communicated that I don't want to communicate.
I mean, I feel that there's, conversely, when I've been in a relationship, when I've had a partner come home, there have been times when he's come home and I've looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, he about to get here. I just don't want to be in his company. That's not to say anything about him per se, but I'm a loner at heart. And so maybe that's what's happening. I think these are two different things. I'm a loner at heart. I like to be by myself. I enjoy my own company.
Eric Lasardo says on the Motown chat on YouTube, wow, did Mrs. Mo lose her hearing today? No, she's not listening to the show. She knows I'm right anyhow. And Me says, Mr. Mo Kelly, you better choose your words wisely. Just saying.
Yeah, I think we passed that.
You know why?
I think we passed that.
Because I'm the man of my house. I have nothing to worry about. I am ruler of all I survey.
If Mo's not here tomorrow,
it means I chose not to come in. And I let everyone know my decision was final.
You see his chest, y'all? He done poked his chest out.
That's
he
right.
said it with his chest.
That's right. Real men in 2025.
Oh, okay.
And yet we've sat here and been pretty quiet this whole time.
No. You've been, you all were running your mouth the whole segment.
No.
This is time for you to sit and listen. Okay?
Chat.
Okay?
Unleash. Release the Kraken.
It was James Evans who said on Good Times. Said it best.
God, here we go.
Only two places for never mind.
Please don't do that.
Because look
You
here.
have to cut the cameras all the way off.
Don't do that.
Look at Mark
Don't
Hunter.
do
He's
that.
like, I want to secretly agree, but if I say something, I'll go down with it.
No. Psst, psst. Mo, what are you doing right now? What are you doing?
I'm taking the bullet for all
That's
the
not a
men out
bullet.
there.
That is an AR.
It's not helping. You are not helping us.
Man keeping needs to go somewhere. It's not a real thing. Women, not gonna.
You gonna drive around for extra
Please.
time tonight and just be in the car circling? You didn't hear the show, did you?
She will be
Right.
asleep when I get home.
Luckily, that's
And
why
if
you're
she's
saying
listening,
this.
If she's listening right now, she would say, "Yeah, that's pretty accurate." He says that at home. I'm being serious. I'm absolutely being serious. Janet B on the chat says, "Love you, Mo." See, they know I am.
No, this is
telling the
her
truth.
emotionally keeping you right now.
Daryl Sexton
This is
says,
what's
"Take it
happening.
to the hallway." Should we take it to the hallway?
I think we should.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna take it to the hallway.
Haven't you done enough?
Yes.
Tell him, Mark.
I'm gonna dig deeper. I got a shovel and I want to keep on digging.
I cannot.
Well, ladies, remember though, men don't need to be kept. Okay,
Come on
That's
now.
right. I don't need any protection.
let him use that shovel. Let him use
KFI
it.
AM 640. Look, if you're listening right now, go to YouTube. That's the easiest way. At Mr. Mo Kelly. We're going to continue this conversation in the hallway. There'll probably be some inappropriate language, some profanity, but a whole lot of truth. And
There is a healthy, and I mean a healthy amount of truth to what Mo is saying. In this world right now, for any woman to stand on 2 feet, 10 toes down, and say that it is okay to be keeping your man, while at the same time talk about men ain't stepping up and men ain't being men. I don't understand. Either men are
have
going
it
to
both
be
ways.
men.
Hold on, no. This is emotionally.
No. Beyond emotionally, because I have heard too many times, and maybe y'all aren't the women that are on the dating map. I don't want no man simping. I don't want no weak man. I need a masculine
Simping
man.
ain't real. Simping ain't real.
All I'm saying is, if women are on one hand going to say you need masculinity and you need your man to be a man,
That's right.
then you can't have your man come to you. Oh, baby, here's what I'm going through today. It's not the same, because the minute you do that, the minute you get cut down as a man, and this is
that ain't right.
And again, I get it, because every single time we have this conversation, there's some woman who say that ain't me, I don't do that, it ain't every woman. But unfortunately, as men, guess what we see? We see that. Yep. All we see as men is being cut down for being emotional or being available. No. I'm here. I get it. That ain't me. I don't do that. I hear that all the time. Right. Women all the time want to come with that ain't me. Then why is it every other woman is? Why is it every other woman that we do?
I think if it's like a every time thing, a everyday thing, all the time and it happens a lot, then it's just like, all right, bro, come.
Oh, so you're getting to decide when?
Not necessarily, because there are things like I want to know what's going on. If you look bothered, I want to know what's happening.
Right.
Like, talk to me, tell me what's going on. I don't want.
That's
I want to be
thing
upheld.
Sometimes
wrong.
sometimes the answer is not what you want to hear. Sometimes the answer is, I don't want to fucking talk.
And again, unfortunately, ladies, this is a real thing. When it comes to, I want to know what's going on, it's more your own curiosity. You want to know, is there a problem with me? You don't want to know what's happening with me. No, I promise you, because the minute I start talking about something that's happening to me, it turns into, well, here's what's happening with my day, and I'm like, here's the perfect example.
I'll have a long day. I'll come home, and my wife will say, so tell me what happened with your day. It's like, I had a fucked up day. I don't want to talk about it. And then she gets mad at me because I don't want to talk about it. And the reason I don't want to talk about it, if I talk about it, I'm reliving it, and then I'm mad all over again. And then we're having a problem.
And again, not only that, there are plenty of times where I've experienced in my life where what's wrong is everything okay. It's just a gateway for you for me to hurry it up. And then for you to go start.
That is not true.
Hey, look, I gotta disagree. God bless you for not being that one. God bless Cardisha for not being that one.
She's different.
You know, Jackie is different. Jackie doesn't do that.
Let's just be clear about that. I'm different as hell. But for example, the last guy, couple guys ago, because I get the crazies, but a couple guys ago dated a gentleman, and he came into the house and he was like, hey, I had a hard day at work, and I was like, what happened? So he starts laying it out, like, what happened? This happened. We're both in broadcasting, how broadcasting goes.
Get ready to come back now.
Okay. Look, there's going to be a part 2.
All right.
Just because we're coming back. I promise you there's a part 2 coming.
Oh, we're coming back.
I got to get a snack if I'm sticking around.
AM 640 is Labor with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media, the iHeartRadio app. And if you saw us in the hallway, we have a lot of people who just logged on. All that was real. I was not saying anything that I didn't mean. Tuala wasn't saying anything he didn't mean.
I'm trying to tell you. Look, we go to the hall to keep it real. It's 100.
And people think like, was Mo like kidding? No, I was being absolutely 100% serious. There are times when I need folks to stop talking. Just stop talking. That is the emotional support that I need to know when I don't want to hear from you anymore. All right, let's go to the horoscope. Your weird and wild horoscope for this week. Aries, the individual is ready to explore love. But be aware, a Rogue Tuesday banana peel could lead to a surprise dance with a fire hydrant. What?
That sounds wild.
I've never danced with a fire hydrant. Don't worry, the cosmic energy shifts and your quick recovery will impress someone special. Ensure the dancing partner has good health insurance. Taurus, you feel exceptionally free. You might explore volunteering, but it could involve offering services as a professional llama whisperer or a taste tester for experimental artisan cheeses.
Nice.
I don't like cheeses. I don't like the experimental cheeses. I don't like the pungent smelling cheeses. No.
Ooh.
I just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I need pungent.
Gemini. Mark.
Ready.
Creativity is engaged, perhaps a little too much. You could find yourself attempting to remodel your work desk into a sentient robot assistant. Or
sounds just like me, doesn't it?
Yes. Or renovating your kitchen to include a self-stirring cauldron.
Nice.
Which is it going to be?
I just ordered some material to make some advanced super health drinks last night, and
cauldron it is.
I made a complete mess out of the kitchen.
Okay. That's a cauldron. You need a cauldron to help you not make messes.
Yeah, maybe there's something to these things after all, and I've been mocking them for no good reason.
Double, toil, trouble, cauldron, burn. What does it go? What does it say?
You're close. You're close.
Cauldron, bubble, something like that. Cancer. You may become involved in a confusing romantic situation involving a shared project and dramatically different ideas about whether a joint pottery class should focus on functional wear or interpretive sculptures depicting existential dread. Respond with logic, but feel free to add a little flair with a well-placed dramatic sigh. Leo, patience is rewarded, especially if that patience involves waiting for the perfect moment to unleash your inner flamboyant performer at an important business meeting. Just make sure your brilliant solution doesn't involve a glitter bomb.
Okay. There you go, Carnation.
Virgo, try a new approach to romance, even if that means letting a friend set you up on a blind date with someone who owns 27 miniature schnauzers and communicates primarily through interpretive dance. You never know, you might discover a hidden talent for communicating through canine-inspired gestures yourself. That should have been mine, because I got the schnauzers. Libra, you're the apple of everyone's eye, but be cautious. A confrontation around Thursday could involve an impromptu wrestling match over the last slice of cake at the office party. Your diplomatic skills may be tested, but remember, a well-placed compliment about someone's unique frosting choices can go a very long way. That's oddly specific.
Yes, it is.
Scorpio, here's yours to wallow.
Let's go.
A bit of romantic discord could turn into a potentially hot duet, so sing away. Just be careful that your emotional reactions around this Thursday don't lead to a spontaneous karaoke battle that accidentally sparks a minor international incident. And all the years I've known Tuwala, I've never seen him do karaoke.
I can't sing.
Neither can most people doing karaoke.
You're not supposed to know how to sing.
No. I was literally told that I should not do karaoke anymore. It was so off.
Was it someone that you were dating?
No. I went actually with my who did I go with? I went with members of my dojo. It was after a test. It was after a belt testing, and we were all very hyped and celebratory. Mm-hmm. And we went karaoke. And one of my senior classmates after karaoke, they said, she's from out of the country. She said, Tuwala, I thought all black people can sing. Growing up where I grew up, we were taught that all black people can sing. You cannot. You are proof that the stereotype is not real. I had to look at her for a second. I'm like,
is this an insult or a compliment?
I'm so confused right now. And even the karaoke DJ, he was looking at me with such like, get your ass off the microphone.
But you can rap. We've heard that.
Yeah, but that's not really karaoke. That's like, no one cares about you rapping karaoke.
Sagittarius, that's me. Even with a foggy path ahead, you're on the right track. Just be cautious that if that path involves following a suspiciously cheerful squirrel holding a map to a hidden treasure chest filled with artisanal pickles, your instinct is strong, but so is your imagination. I don't get it.
Watch the pickle.
And squirrels and pickles, it just sounds wrong.
Watch the pickles, avoid the squirrels.
Tony, here's Capricorn.
All right.
Connections are extra easy, but your tendency to be a worrywart could lead you to overthink a simple coffee date into a potential hostile takeover of a small nation. Yeah. Didn't say she was fine, though. Acknowledge the worry, then persevere down your path, perhaps with a side order of extra whipped cream. Sounds kinky.
Don't go on coffee dates, Tony.
I don't like coffee.
You don't need to actually drink coffee on a coffee date.
You can get a matcha or a chai.
I don't even drink coffee. You know where my wife and I first met for our first date? Coffee shop.
Huh?
And I didn't get coffee. Look at me now.
Hot cocoa. There's lots of things you can get with that whipped cream, Tony.
Aquarius. Striking the balance between giving and getting may seem complicated, especially if getting, quote unquote, involves acquiring a vast collection of vintage space-themed socks. Keep things loose and free to make romantic discoveries, even if it's a mutual love for obscure extraterrestrial documentaries. And lastly, Pisces. You've been trapped in a labyrinth, but finding your way just got simpler. Finding your way out, I should say. Just be cautious, as the solution might involve following a flock of singing pigeons to a secret passage hidden behind a particularly fragrant pile of cheese. There's cheese again. Embrace the silliness. It might lead to unexpected joy. And there is your horoscope for this week. When we come back, we're going to sing the praises of Fantastic Four, Final Steps, and check out the rest of the box office.
Attorney General Rob Bonta says
Jackie had to go get a snack for this. And
Yeah, because I was like, y'all draining my energy with this nonsense.
Look, I hear it. I promise. Look, this is one of those moments of absolute realness with the ladies. And again, God bless y'all for not being those ones who lure men into talking about themselves just to take over the conversation, to unload your day, and absolutely ignore every single thing we had to say. Give us some platitude of, well, it's going to be okay. I think you did the right thing. You know what? You always got your head on your shoulders. So let me tell you about what happened to me. Because, boy, my day was out of control. Literally, that is what happens most of the time. There are a few, and I'll put them on one hand, women who actually want to have a back and forth conversation. We can talk about some things and all that. But when it comes to men unloading, there is something about a look in a woman's face that you can almost see it. That's like almost, here this motherfucker go. like my name is Oprah.
I will say, well, because like my ex, like I was trying to tell you before, like he had a problem at his job, and you could just see it on his face. And he wore all his emotions on his face. When he came home, I said, hey, what's wrong? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I said, cool, because I was watching Snapped anyway. You know, and that's the show.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait. Jagger was like, cool. All right, cool.
My show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just pack this, I'm just smooth walk on out of here.
No. But see, right there, that right there is literally, you just literally did what Mo said most men actually want. It's like we said, I don't want to talk, but you said, cool. That's the response.
But hold on.
It's cool.
Now he's doing what y'all say y'all hate. Like he's walking around like his dog just got ran over. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing.
No, see, you trying to read into it. I'm just walking. I'm
not you, Mo.
Oh, we.
And so I finally.
That's how the argument starts.
Right. So I finally had to say, look, obviously something is bothering you. If you don't want to talk about it now, we have to talk about it at some point because it's affecting the atmosphere in the home, right? That's exactly how I phrase it. Finally, he sits down, he breaks down what's going on at work. What's going on at work is they're asking him to do something that's well beyond his scope of work. Fine. So I said, you know, this has happened to me at every job I had. Would you like me to tell you how I handled it? He said, sure. And I was like, so if I were you, I would go in and I would ask for a meeting with my supervisor, and I would go down over my scope of work. This is what you are paying me to do. I am more than capable of doing these other things. However, there's a price tag attached to that. And I say, because like my dad has always told me, people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And if you allow this now, this is just going to continue. And I was like, so just go in tomorrow, super nice, handle it.
So here's my question.
He's like, all right, thanks, babe. Hold on. Then he goes into work. He says he said it, and then I asked him how he said it. I'm like, that's not at all what I said to say. You know, he like just like, y'all made me do. I was like, that's not at all what I said to say. I said, go in there, very professional. This is my scope of work. That's not what you said. Now he's flashing back at me because he did it wrong.
No, okay, now the problem is, off the top before we get there, the problem is the expectation that he was going to be able to remember verbatim the Jackie way that it was done.
You can't remember the scope of work?
It's obvious that he is not Jackie. His name ain't Jackie and his name ain't Ray.
Scope of work. It's three words.
What you need to help him do is shape it in the way that he does it.
And this is,
he probably went in there.
He called keeping a man.
No, he probably went in there like, now how Jackie said, now wait a minute, so you know what, man, fuck my girl said something, but you know what, fuck that. You know, no man can go in and translate that.
Of work?
He can't. I'm sorry. That's not.
If you're trying to tell me with your chest that a man can't remember scope of work,
I will say this though. It is unfortunate because sometimes we may be hearing you talking, and sometimes that's why it may turn into some straight Charlie Brown shit where it's
Whose
like,
fault is it?
because the explanation,
If you can't active listen as a whole grown up, that's your problem, not mine.
But again, in sometimes within relationships, the interpersonal conflict exists between the ability to sit and focus and listen to someone and go in and saying what they say. Not saying that what you said is wrong. What you said, you gave him excellent advice, solid advice.
And you
If he
was
on your level, then all that will work. He's obviously not on your level, so none of that worked. You literally.
So he's probably the one that's out there right now complaining about women talk too much, and these fools can't listen. So
I hear you.
This is the
I
problem.
hear you.
Y'all, who did the survey?
Scope of work.
It's 3 words.
The scope of work. Here's the thing. It depends on how you are at receiving information, all that. Again, this still would go back to him saying, yo, man, she straight gave me the worst advice ever. Because he didn't understand it. He may have said, I got you. Whether he was embarrassed that, I don't understand what you're saying, whatever. He sounds like someone who could not handle the information that you gave him. His response is to then get upset with you because in his mind, yo, you were speaking straight, goobly got, and I didn't understand it. But unfortunately, it sounded so sweet, and I'm looking at you, and that's my babe trying to help me out. Okay, cool. Oh, babe, yeah, I got it. Unfortunately, it does happen. It happens the exact other way as well. There are times where women may ask a woman may ask a man for her advice or for advice, and he may give it to her, and then she may come back the exact same way. Everything you said was wrong, because they'll come back. So here's what happened with my coworker. Said, how should I handle it? Well, look, if it was me, this is how I would handle it. I went and told her, you know what? Now she ain't trying to be my friend, and we ain't no more. So F you, your advice. It happens.
Active listening is the key.
Active listening is the key. But we also have to respect those boundaries, which is where it seems we're having the crux of the issue is when a dude says like, yo, right now my boundary is I don't want to talk about it. And somehow many women take that they take that as if, oh, you can't talk to me, and then it turns into a whole thing.
But that's how it be because y'all don't want to talk about anything. So it's like if you don't want to talk about anything, and I'm supposed to be the person you confide in, then what? Come on,
on the flip side of that, I think it's matching energy. I'm team match energy. So if I'm like, hey babe, how's your day going? And it's constantly you don't have shit to say to me. Then the next day, how's your day? Cool. I got shit to say to you. I'm gonna call my best friend because I'm not gonna be pouring into you and you're not pouring into me. And then there's this wedge in between us. I'm team match energy. Now I know people say that's petty, but not.
What Jackie's saying is where the complaint of what's this nurturing comes in, right? Having to constantly teach somebody how to open up and speak. I'm sure that's kind of tiring, right?
Exhausting.
Because I've got a teenage boy, and trying to get him to speak.
It's exhausting.
It's like, dog, we did this when you were a year old.
Yeah.
And it was more fun then. So yeah, I understand that.
And I don't feel like if we've decided we're gonna be on this road together, if you can't talk to me and I can't talk to you, why are we on this road together?
That's a good point. Solid point. See, I listened to you.
Okay, guys. Thanks for the chat.
Right.
Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the iHeartRadio app. And I got to say, it's been a while since I really, 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 really enjoyed a Marvel movie. I mean, in the way that I did many years ago. And if you know the phases, like since maybe phase 3 or 4, we're like phase 6 now. Marvel has had good movies, but they haven't had great movies. Saw Fantastic Four twice since I last talked to you. It's a great movie. It's not a perfect movie. It's a great movie. It is reminiscent of Marvel when it was at its best, when you had the first Iron Man. It was a way of storytelling, which was funny, but it wasn't silly. It wasn't like they were going for jokes just for jokes. It happened in the natural course of whatever was happening. The tone was the right tone. It was a world-ending event. I need you to treat it like that. I didn't need you to have the main character trying to go save squirrels like they did in Superman. This movie, Fantastic Four, First Steps, obviously was the #1 movie, but I suspect it's going to have some real legs. And it sets up the future of Marvel movies in a great way. I would love to see it again, to look at all the Easter eggs. Vanessa Kirby, fantastic performance. Everything in the movie turns on her actions. Joseph Quinn, who played Human Torch, fine performance. Pedro Pascal, I didn't really believe that he could be Reed Richards when he was first cast. I was very skeptical. And there's some things that I think he could have done better, but I was pleased overall with his performance. I just don't have a whole lot bad to say about this movie. Tuala may disagree. I didn't get to hear Mark Ronner and his Ronner report. So I'm sorry.
You don't listen when you're not here?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
That hurts. I have feelings. What was that manscaping stuff you were talking about? Whatever it is, I need some of that. No, I loved it probably as much as you did, and I thought they struck exactly the right tone. They finally got Galactus right, which was a big sticking point for me.
They couldn't get it more wrong.
Not than that one where he was like a stupid space cloud. They did everything right. Every doubt that I had about it wound up being nothing. Even the female Silver Surfer, which I didn't want or care about, didn't ruin anything. Lots of fun.
But it was, I don't want to give it away for those who haven't seen it. It was explained and it was essential to the overarching theme of family and motherhood. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I'll tell you, I would rather listen to them go on about family in the Fantastic Four movie, the way they did it so well, than in a million of those awful Fast and Furious movies.
Okay, all right, relax on your Fast and Furious critiques.
Those aren't even movies; they're just stimulus. Okay. Fantastic Four was a proper movie with a really well thought through story, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think I've seen it twice now, and for me, going into it, it is once again proof of something I continuously say, and that is when the MCU gets a hold of characters, they get it right. This is not the first bite at the Fantastic Four apple. There were two done by Tim Story, one that shall not be mentioned, although I have to for this moment, by Josh Trank, which was the worst thing to ever happen to cinema. And this time,
it's not an overstatement either.
Going into it, I knew for a fact that this movie was going to be pitch perfect because of everything they were showing us. They were once again giving us a world that we have not seen. They were creating a world that the Fantastic Four could thrive in. They made it make sense from beginning to end. All of the performances were top notch. All of the performances were character accurate. It was shocking to me how Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, was. I mean, his awkwardness and uneasiness and all that went into it, but also there was a slight bit of sinister to his character that not many picked up on. That when you read the comics, Reed Richards is one of the worst things to happen in comics because the way his brain works, it's wrong for the world. And I just love how they had slight little nods, the emotion that they gave Ben Grimm and how he carried the weight of what happened to him, but never let it show and always held the team together. I mean, everything about this. I thought Joseph Quinn, I had my worries about him as Johnny Storm, only because I didn't think he would be able to make the transition from the series, the Stranger Things. I was like, oh, is he going to be able to do it? I thought he was great. And I love how they did not make Johnny Storm an ass like he has been in most other interpretations. I thought the way they made him, I was like, this is perfect. This is so good. As a comic book fan, my wildest dreams came to life on that screen, and it was utter magic.
So we all agree? Is that what we're saying?
Well, Tony seems to be in some distress here.
Uh-oh.
I think it was when I mentioned the chick Silver Surfer.
That's why I won't see it. Female Silver Surfer, I won't go.
No, don't let that get in your way.
That's plenty why I won't go.
At least see it. Look, it's comic accurate.
10 pages in a what if book. Come on.
No, Tony. And when you see the
at least
story,
you know by then.
When you see the story, it actually makes sense. And I'm giving you from the diehard collector of comics. You see my garage, just say, yeah, T understands. He's got a garage full of comics.
Of all things to change, man. It's a road I can't cross.
It doesn't ruin it. I promise.
It doesn't ruin it. Let's not forget, this is not a spoiler. We know that it doesn't take place on Earth 616.
That's still the first one they show us that one.
I promise you, Tony.
And it ain't the last.
I know.
I promise you, T. I promise you. Like we literally had on our Nerdorama podcast, we have a member, Ryan McBain, who literally he went into it thinking he was going to have to set the theater on fire when the female surfers hit the screen. It came out like, you know what? I was okay with it because I understand why now, and it makes sense.
It wasn't a gender swap. It's a different character, different story, and it's relevant to this story. It wasn't like they had to make a reach for it.
Also, the way they depicted her surfing is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really cool. Everything that they did, you're like, damn, you got it right. And it also makes you excited to see when they go on and give us Norn Rad. It was, Tony, I promise.
Is it too late, though, when you do her
No, we'll get that. I
Okay,
bet you we get a whole Norn Rad movie, solo movie someday.
All right, that solo book series, come on, man.
That's what I think. If you haven't seen the movie, if they would have used Norn Rad in this particular way and closed the story in the way they did in this movie, you would have been angry.
Yeah, you would have walked out there like blank, 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 blank,
I'm
blank,
sure.
blank.
Yes.
I'm sure. I just, it's one of those things for me. That's just one of those like sacred, like, that one too. They just can't help themselves. I feel like sometimes.
We're going to carry this over to the next segment because we got to talk about Comic-Con and what happened this weekend, and it also ties into Marvel, all things Marvel. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the iHeartRadio app, and I've been getting your message, calling me a Neanderthal, saying that I'm, not progressive enough, small p as far as male and female relationships. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. I guess I'm a trad husband. So let me just go ahead and piss you off even more. I think the greatest piece of advice ever said on TV was said by James Evans Sr. on Good Times. And if you're wondering what I really think about this whole man-keeping thing, how women are supposed to be the caretakers of our emotions, I'm just going to let James Evans speak on my behalf, okay? All right, everyone ready? All right, here we go.
I went with Ilona to one of those meetings where women talk about their problems. You know, all that silly talk about trying to better themselves.
One of them women's groups? Florida, I'm surprised that you're wasting your time at a crazy ladies meeting like that. Look at you sitting here bumping your gums when you ought to be in there making dinner.
James, you asked me to sit down. I think you said enough.
Well, there's one thing I ain't got no patience with is women trying to push in and take over a man's job.
James, that is not what women are after.
Don't tell me, Florida. I see it every day. They're taking the food right out of our mouth.
I think you said enough.
Hey, woman, what's wrong with you? You don't tell me when to talk. See, you've been to one damn meeting right away you flying in my face.
James, that's not what it's all about.
I'm gonna tell you, you've been driving everybody crazy running around here. Now you going to them women's meetings. I'm gonna tell you something Uncle Ed used to say, and maybe he was right. There's only two places a woman belongs,
Don't
Florida.
say it, James. James, don't say it.
The kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom.
Are y'all mad yet?
Utterly ridiculous.
That's right. Send all your hate mail. I don't give a damn. Comic-Con. Tony, you went to Comic-Con.
Yes, I did.
What were some of the highs and lows?
It was packed this year, but I think the floor was packed because I think there was just less compelling stuff in Hall H, like the big panel thing. So I think just everyone was it was shoulder to shoulder in there all the days.
As always. Were they camping out this year?
There was camping, but it didn't seem as much, one really cool thing I did, because, I'm, of my age, remember the cartoon G.I. Joe?
Of course.
Okay. Remember there was like one episode where the bad guys did like a fake band.
You didn't go and see the Cole Slither show. Dude!
Okay,
it was good.
Face the camera so everyone can see your shirt better.
Cold Slither is a made-up band that they created in G.I. Joe that's made up of Zartan and the Dreadnoughts.
Yes.
And they've been pumping up they've been doing flyers.
They made a real album.
Are you serious?
Oh, I have it. It's good. It's actually a sufficiently metal album.
Oh, my God.
They did a whole set. And they did that Brick by Brick, which is like a heavy metal punk venue, too, is where they did it at.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, no. The funniest thing was, for the encore, they suddenly started playing Gem, the cartoon Gem.
Really?
And then a girl came out, started singing the theme song, and it's like, oh, that was the original singer, the original voice actress
from Jim and the Hologram.
They had her come out, and they played with her, and they played a Jim song. And
My mind is blown.
It was great. It was.
Tony, I got goosebumps.
It was a fun night.
Hey,
it was the most Comic-Con thing I've ever done in all my years.
Did you get to see any of the footage of Acme?
I saw that leaked online. I saw that a little bit. It's been shelved for a while, that movie, right?
Yes. It was actually not going to come out at all. It was one of the films that when they 86, the Batgirl film, they 86 that one as well. A whole bunch of films got cut, and then the fight for it, Will Forte, he fought for it, and then the fervor just got around. And it's like the idea is genius. It is one of the most genius ideas I've seen a company come up with an older product.
I don't know why they were trying to shelve it, because from what I read, it was about $50 million budget, which was modest.
Yep.
And I thought they would have easily made its money back. It had some real talent connected to it. We Eric Balzilla, who's been on the show, the star of it, is starring. And he and I had talked a couple times offline. It's like he didn't understand why Warner Brothers wouldn't release it, and it's probably because of all the publicity about it being shelved is going to make far more money now because it's worked now as a promotional campaign.
It worked for Deadpool.
Right.
That when that footage leaked and finally everyone wanted to see that movie, I think it's kind of the same thing.
I mean, think about it. You have Coyote, who for years we have watched Coyote buy all these Acme products to catch Roadrunner, only for those products to just blow up in his face and everything goes awry. This is a film about Coyote suing Acme for all of his wrongdoing.
It's beautiful.
Genius.
Yeah, it was the natural evolution of all that. It's like he spent, I don't know, untold amounts of money on this one company. Why he stuck with them, I don't know, but he did. And now he wants
to deliver to the desert, right?
Right. Now he wants, some compensation.
Yes. To me, I'm like, when you look at your old product, I'm like, to me, this is like Hollywood. When you look at old IPs and you think about just redoing something, do it like this. Give us a new look. Give us something that we can look and say, aha, that's genius. Not we're going to do Total Recall and it just be a different movie. The hell?
Anything else from Comic-Con? Did you get to see George Lucas by chance?
That was Sunday. He did the panel on Sunday. That was
I watched it last night.
Yeah, I watched it too. It was the only thing in Hall H.
I'm sorry. The thing that people should know is that you can now see almost every single panel from Comic-Con on YouTube.
Yes.
Before they get taken down.
Yeah, but it didn't used to be that way. So
that was more a function of the pandemic. They made it available at that point, and then they moved away from it because they still want you to be there in person. But yes.
Yeah, you don't have to endure the assorted aromas of Hall H and the waiting.
Tron looks interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I want to love it. I loved the first Tron movie, the original Tron movie. The second one was good enough. But what they had a booth this year with just the light cycle to take a picture on. Line was too long. I'm not waiting that line. But they had another line because they were doing a 9 Inch Nails custom die cut
because
record.
they did the soundtrack.
Yeah, 9 Inch Nails, and it was a custom die cut album, and it's like, do I wait in line for no? No, I'm not waiting for it.
Yeah,
but that looks
the lines, man.
Oh,
the lines.
But I want to be hopeful for that movie. I really, really, really do.
For Tron Ares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge Tron fan, and unlike you, I actually loved the second one.
It was good.
I thought
the soundtrack.
Finally, the sound design technology and CGI caught up to what Tron was envisioned to be originally.
And we're hitting AI now, which is exactly in Tron's wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
So it can be really good.
And you're bringing back Jeff Bridges. I mean, so that
he's just the dude now.
Yeah, he is. He's still abiding.
He was in the first movie. He was great. I just, when he was still Flynn, and just
all of that.
I love that first movie.
What was the first movie? 84?
82.
82. Okay, yeah.
The light cycles in that first one. They still can't make them look as fast as that original one. They looked so fast and everything.
But it was literally a computer game.
Yeah.
And now you're bringing them into the real world.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
The real world implications. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
I want to love it.
I'm watching the Motown chat, and some of you are angry at me about the clip I played. And
really,
yeah.
They found that offensive.
Yeah. Someone, I think it was Cynthia, who said, Mo, you're better than that. Actually, I'm not. Cynthia Melkor said, boo, Mo, you're better than that. Oh, really?
No, Cynthia, he's not.
I went with Ilona to one of those meetings where women talk about their problems. You know, all that silly talk about trying to better themselves.
One of them women's groups? Florida, I'm surprised that you're wasting your time at a crazy ladies meeting like that. Look at you sitting here bumping your gums when you ought to be in there making dinner.
James, you asked me to sit down. I think you said enough.
Well, if there's one thing I ain't got no patience with is women trying to push in and take over man's job.
James, that is not what women are after.
Don't tell me, Florida. I see it every day. They're taking the food right out of our mouth.
I think you said enough.
Hey, woman, what's wrong with you? You don't tell me when to talk. So you done been to one damn meeting right away you flying in my face.
James, that's not what it's all about.
I'm gonna tell you, you've been driving everybody crazy running around here. Now you going to them women's meetings. I'm gonna tell you something Uncle Ed used to say, and maybe he was right. There's only two places a woman belongs,
Don't
Florida.
say it, James. James, don't say it.
The kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom.
I am not better than that.
You gonna play some Andrew Dice Clay next?
Why not? For playing that Good Times clip, not once, but twice. It's just, can't. Mo, I thought you were better than that. Keep trying to tell you I'm not. And if you don't want me to play the Good Times clip anymore, okay, I won't. Well, what about Archie Bunker?
Imagine Irene Lorenzo thinking that she's going to get that job over me with all that gray hair of hers.
Well, she just might get the job, Arch. You know, nowadays the government is pressuring companies into hiring more women in executive positions.
I know it's a crime against nature. Women was created for two things, making meals and babies.
Oh, boy. There you go again with the 19th century thinking of yours.
Well, it's true. Look at your cave women. Why do you think your cave women was created with short legs and fat butts?
I don't know, Arch, but I'm sure you got a good answer.
So they couldn't run fast, so the men could catch them and force them to make the meals and the babies.
Well, weren't there any cave women with long legs and skinny butts that could run faster than the men?
Well, then the men would have to bring down with a rock.
Now I'm starting to catch on.
I don't know what you're doing.
Ladies, stand strong. Stand strong. I mean, I'm not laughing with them.
Was that politically incorrect, Cardacia?
Y'all are a mess.
Yes.
So don't play the Good Times, but I can play Archie Bunker.
Thank you.
Don't let me find some George Jefferson. Oh, don't let me find some George Jefferson. Oh.
You might have missed out on some Jackie Gleason, too.
Oh, I got time.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Play some Jackie Gleason.
Give him a little bang zoom.
The man's home is his castle.
Yes.
And in his castle, he is the king.
Do you know who Jackie Gleason was, Carnisha?
No.
Oh, come on.
If I said the Honeymooners, does that...
Okay. It sounds familiar.
Okay, did you ever see Smokey and the Bandit?
No.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, like Burt Reynolds, Smokey and the Bandit.
You said Jackie who?
Gleason. Gleason.
I see his picture, but it doesn't ring a bell.
Are you aware of this device people used to watch called the television?
Look here, Mark.
Yeah.
You got one more time.
Oh, my goodness. So you're going to make me break out some Jackie Gleason and George Jefferson just because. Ooh. Just because. Oh, my goodness.
One of these days, pow, right to the moon.
Right. The stuff that they used to say on TV, they could not even, no, they couldn't even think about doing
he literally used to say, one of these days, pow, right in the kisser.
Yes.
Pow, right in the kisser. Bang, zoom, straight to the moon with you, Alice. I used to watch the Honeymooners every night before going to bed. It was like Honeymooners, Twilight Zone. That was the black and white nights that I used to like stay up till midnight for before there was no television.
But just even the violence or even the faked violence of the Three Stooges. You can't even do that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah. Ooh.
TV has just changed, and I don't mean to like, you know, digress into some treatise on how TV has changed over the past 40 years, but it really has. The things, and I had to edit some of the stuff out of that Archie Bunker clip because there's some stuff he said that I can't even have said on the radio now. That's how much TV has changed. But so Rob Cat in the chat says Mo ain't done digging yet. Look, if I'm gonna dig, I'm gonna go all the way to the basement, all the way down. Just Me says, Mo, are you trying to go on vacation? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going on vacation next month.
An extended vacation?
Yeah, I'm going on vacation with my wife.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure someone has got to be texting her right now. Do you know what your husband's doing? Because they do that. Her friends will text her like, "Are you listening to him right now? Do you know what he's saying?" As if she's going to tell me what I can and can't say on my show.
The nerve.
That is not going to happen. I'm the king of my castle and the ruler of all I survey.
This reminds me on the Martin show when Martin had that episode. He was talking crazy on air about Gina or something, and Gina had checked him at the house.
Okay, but that's television. That's not real life. That's TV. That's made up. That's fictitious. Who gonna check me, boo? No one's gonna check me. No one's gonna check me.
No, who would dare?
No. I love it. Steven in the chat says, no, please, Mo, not Jackie Gleason. We got to go to break because I got to pull some clips. Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. That was a short commercial break. What did you do, Tony?
I just played the spots that were there.
We're back early. Coming up next is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. George, what's coming on tonight?
Hello there. How are you? I thought maybe you thought it was a commercial. Anyways, we're going to talk about how to homestead and keep your life going, and later on, ghost hunting on Coast to Coast.
Ooh, I like it. So, no asteroid going to hit us anytime soon?
No, sir. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll sleep better tonight. Thank you for that, George.
You got it. Bye.
And before we go, I don't know how we got here. It was that whole man-keeping subject that
malarkey.
How men need to open up and, share their soul to women because that's the only way that we can be fully developed men if we just tell of all our emotions and feelings. And it's like, no, sorry. Nope. Mm-mm. Sometimes you just got to know when to stop talking, ladies. Just stop talking. And I was just trying to show my math, as they say. I played James Evans. I played Archie Bunker. And I think it's now time to play some George Jefferson.
I'm surprised at you. I mean, who should know better than my own family the respect I have for women? Weezy, get the damn door! I'm busy. Get it yourself. You could have stopped doing that and answered the door. But you're closer to it than I am.
Mr. Jefferson?
Yeah. What can I do for you?
You can make me your new manager. I'm Dale Parker.
There's more.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jefferson. Here's a copy of my resume.
Oh, yeah. Pleased to meet you too, Miss,
Mrs. Parker, Dale Parker.
How come you got a man's name?
Because I married a man named Parker.
No. I meant the other part, Dale.
That's not just a man's name, George.
Remember Roy Rogers' partner? Trigger?
I love it.
Oh, they don't make TV like they used to. And I couldn't find the Jackie Gleason clip that I wanted, but this will have to do on this occasion.
He's a troublemaker. Well, I have got news for you, Ralph. You and Norton and some of the men in this building can learn an awful lot of things from Carlos. He happens to be a gentleman, Ralph, and that seems to be something that you have forgotten all about. He treats us like women. That's something you've forgotten too, Ralph. You seem to have forgotten that I am a woman.
I forgot that you're a woman? How could I? You're always yapping. What do you mean I don't treat you like a woman?
I treat you like a woman. I let you sew, I let you cook, I let you wash the windows, I let you clean up. Boys don't do that, Alice.
That's so politically incorrect, inappropriate. So I think it was I don't know who it was who said it. I'm better than that. No, I'm not. I am not.
Just ask HR.
I'm just playing clips. That's all I'm doing.
Oh my God. I grew up watching all that.
All that.
Oh my goodness.
And it's funny because here's the serious point. For those who are either somewhat angry at me or really mad at me, are some of the same people who would say that we're too sensitive today. That, we don't know how to laugh at ourselves today. And if you look at just about every Norman Lear show of the late 1970s and early 80s, none of that stuff could be on TV today. None of it would have the same type of impact because we're too busy pointing fingers at each other and trying to disrespect each other as opposed to being able to find things that we can laugh at each other. Yeah, I could find a whole bunch of other clips that were making fun of men, but I'm saying as far as how we got there tonight, it was just a function of people being mad with what I had to say about man keeping. No, I'm not sorry. And if you say it again, I want to play some more James Evans. I'll play more George Jefferson. And that's all there is to it. But no, we should be able to have fun with each other in a way that we used to be able to have fun with each other, but for some reason we just can't. I know it's a very different world now, and it's a much more coarse world. We don't even look at each other in the same way. I'm old enough. Carnicia's not old enough to remember. Mark is old enough to remember. He doesn't want to admit it.
Careful.
See, Tall's old enough to remember. We remember the 1970s and what it was like. Was everything great? Absolutely not. But there was a way in which we could talk about some of the ills because these shows are talking about the problems which were going on in America. Mm-hmm. They were putting it on a level which almost seemed farcical. But what made it so powerful was everybody knew an Archie Bunker in real life. Everyone knew a George Jefferson in real life. And because there was so much truth being expressed through the characters, it put up a mirror to society, and it showed where we were and how absurd in many ways where we were as a country in the late 1970s and the early 80s. We look at this like, how could anyone think that way? Oh, yeah. Archie Bunker, for as absurd as he sounded, he was very much real. And a lot of people, and I know Mark knows this because he's a student of television history, a lot of people didn't even get the joke that they were laughing at Archie Bunker and those like him.
Well, I wonder if we're even dumber now than we were back then, and people would even get the satire of any Norman Lear show.
No, they wouldn't.
I mean, Archie Bunker was not meant to be taken at face value,
no,
okay?
But a lot of people agreed with him because they didn't understand that he was a caricature.
Sure, but if you watch to the end of the show, he almost always got his comeuppance or changed his mind about something. And there was a method to this, but I just think that a lot of, like, I used to find it insane that people didn't understand that the show 24 was a fantasy, and they thought we should do all that stuff in the real world. The same thing holds true for all the Norman Lear shows.
I wish that we could have groundbreaking TV like that now. In the age of cable, in the age of streaming, you would think to be able, because they can cover larger subjects, more controversial subjects, but TV is not as daring as it once was. Now, you'll have more profanity, you'll even have nudity, but it's not daring like it was in the 1970s. They actually said the F word pejorative for gay people on air.
Oh, yeah.
They said the N word a couple of times over different shows. And I'm not saying that we should do that now. I'm just saying TV was a different vehicle back then to highlight discrepancies, mistreatment of people, and also to move society forward. Yeah, it was quote unquote progressive back then because it was still controversial in the age of the Jeffersons to have an interracial married couple on primetime TV.
Yeah,
that was unheard of.
I mean, just think about how much funnier Saturday Night Live was when they were able to actually take risks, but instead now of tiptoeing around and giving us more slapstick and silliness, where it's like Saturday Night Live used to make real solid, hilarious social commentary, and it's almost like everyone is just afraid to tell jokes. No one wants to get quote unquote canceled.
And that, I think, is the truest serious commentary about what's going on in the world today. As you think about late night comedians being canceled or their shows being canceled, can they talk about the president of the United States however they want, or there are other considerations which have to be made? If you watch Good Times, they made fun of Richard Nixon and Jimmy Carter all the time. And all these shows made fun of whoever was in the White House at the time. They made fun of Gerald Ford. I can't remember, and his tripping and that kind of thing. We don't have that now.
Well, presidents have always been fair game, no matter what party they were from.
Until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up Saturday Night Live. You probably know where I'm going with this. Richard Pryor guest hosted an episode, and he did a sketch about an employee doing a word association with Chevy Chase.
Oh, my God.
There is absolutely no way in hell that would be on TV today.
It's one of the funniest bits ever.
Yes.
It was Mel Brooks-esque.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, we couldn't even play that on the air. No part of it could we play on the air for you to understand what it is we're saying. But that was so shockingly funny and in your face. It was, please look that up.
Maybe
Chevy Chase.
Yeah, maybe on our very last day we'll play that.
Right before I go on vacation for real.
Forever.
So you won't know when I'm like.
When you go to the farm in upstate New York, we'll play that before your last day.